It's not very often that you see games being just plain crazy, bringing enjoyment through blatantly idiotic and delightful gameplay, such as Goat Simulator, Untitled Goose Game, Octodad, and many others. But when they do come around, it's almost guaranteed that they will be the funniest, most engaging types of games to play through, even if they don't seem to offer anything else when it's finally time to sit down and see what it's fully about. Squirrel with a Gun is exactly what it sounds like, an out-of-control squirrel who obtains a handgun after being caught stealing one of the numerous golden acorns inside of a secret laboratory. You'll blast and shoot your way through the various tutorials until you're finally out into the open levels, wreaking some much-needed havoc upon the world as you rob the population and complete the objectives which are given to you. Although it was amusing and exciting at first, it really didn't seem to last all that long as the charm does slowly start to die off. Clearly, it's not a serious game, since all of the attention to detail went into making the squirrel as vicious as possible, complete with ridiculous executions and several cutscenes. Everything else is a poorly but well-executed low-effort comedy, complete with ragdoll effects and plot sequences that unlock throughout the small amount of time that you spend here. Similarly, the controls seem a little bit too chaotic, at least from my perspective, especially while driving around in your little sports car, while turning or shooting guns, or while attempting to take on each of the agents or bosses that are strewn over each of the areas that you unlock. After the excitement is worn off, it really didn't feel all that enjoyable anymore, more like a chore, because really what it is a collectathon. You're going to be progressing through this very short game by completing the objectives around the town and moving on to the next accessible area once you collect enough acorns and golden acorns. There are several events that are tied to these acorns that you must uncover and interact with, some of which might be difficult until you find the correct answer, or you could just come up with your own method. Giving players freedom is always preferred over completely confining them with a linear direction. But after 2 hours of performing the same thing each and every time without much deviation, using the same executions, the animations, or even using the voice and grinding for hundreds and thousands of acorns and golden acorns just became very exhausting. While I did find the intro to the game to be very fun, easily capable of making me laugh and just going with it to enjoy it for what it is, that feeling really doesn't last long after unlocking in the next areas and having to do it all over again and again and again, getting longer each time with more exhausting puzzles and the need to farm for a lot more acorns, which aren't hard to come by, but it just feels too repetitive with a severe lack of rewarding progression that's not worth the asking price, as there is no replay value or much depth outside of the initial 2 hours.